Have you ever given thought to some theme music here, boss? Because this guy would definitely go well with our theme, with some theme music. We need to look into that. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're going to do another assembly video here of another Blokees Defender version. I think Larry's trying to spoil our videos here. Alright, our card's kind of mangled up, but it looks like we got Jazz. Always one of the fan favorite characters from the series. Of course, Jazz's popularity helped save him from most of the events of the animated film, since he was not slated to die off. However, unfortunately, shortly around the time the animated film was released, his voice actor, Scatman Crothers, did pass away. So Jazz would be relegated to mostly background appearances throughout Season 3 and would gradually be phased out. Of course, the Generation 1 version of Jazz is one of them that had a rare promotional toy. There was a version of him made as a mail-away offer with Cookie Crisp cereal. A distant friend of mine that lives in England happened to see one of them at a flea market. And at any rate, let's shift the camera. I was wondering if this tripod's trying to fall apart on us here. That's better. Control knob was a little loose. Alright, the bag's intact, so that's good. We won't worry about the card as much then. Yeah, if we can just get the bag to tear, there we go. Now, with there being polar opposite colors of white and black, we shouldn't have near the trouble we did with Megatron 2 weeks ago. Famous last words, folks. Alright, we got the body here. I got stamping on the butt, so we'll make sure that's hiding on the back side. Jazz has a single piece head, unlike Megatron, so we'll go ahead and snap his head on. And of course we have this piece for his backside, from the backside of his torso, so plug that on in, there we go. And now we know these two pieces will form the midsection of his leg, and snap a foot on. And these little tiny white pieces shall form the thighs, and there we go, there's one foot done. Quickly put the other one together. Now that we don't have to pretend like we know what we're doing. Of course, as famously said on the Red Green show, they commented that if men say we know what we're doing, in reality we're lying. Men never know what they're doing. Why bring attention to it? There we go, the legs are in. And now we can build the arms. Careful now, we don't want to snap it. Let's see, that's the wrong hand. There we go. That'll make the right arm. There we... Nope, not quite. Not quite. There we go. Nice resultant snap. And then we drop the arm. And there we are. And they give Jazz a megaphone. I don't recall Jazz ever using a megaphone in the cartoon, but it wouldn't be out of place with Jazz, since Jazz famously loved Earth culture, especially rock and roll of the 1980s. Those of you that are about my age, in your mid-40s, you probably agree with him. That was the stuff we used to rebel against our parents. The dawn of MTV and all that jazz. At any rate, this is a nice rendition of Jazz in his cartoon form. And like with Megatron, we do have a lot of articulation. The head can be turned from side to side, and it's on a ball joint, so it will rock up and down. His arms can stretch out to the side and swivel the shoulder all the way. We can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep. So he has G.I. Joe battle grip when we put the arm back on. And you can twist his hands at the wrist, so we have wrist articulation. So kind of put the arm up like that, like he's rallying the troops. We can spread his legs apart into a full split. You can raise his leg at the hip about 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. Plus he does have a small swivel at the ankle. So yeah, all in all, this isn't a bad figure. This is a pretty good little figure, especially if you're a fan of Jazz. You just got to get used to the fact that instead of coming with a gun, he has a megaphone. I guess what we're missing now is little tiny cheerleaders to go with it. Or the Riot Squad. Take your pick. At any rate, that's our review of the Defender version of Jazz from Blokees. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content that we feature here on this channel, I would certainly love a like, share, comment, and subscription. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.